Yo, what up, Nicholas? It's your buddy Philko here reporting live for your mama's house. Doing my thing as I usually do. Bringing you guys an episode kind of about what happened last night and something I realized that I need to talk about a little more because a lot of people come here because they want to hear about Russia. They want to hear about being black in Russia. It seems it's the most popular thing people ask me about is that topic. Oh shit, about being black in Russia, whatever the hell. And of course, girls in Russia, and I will get to that. So last night I went out with Dre. It was kind of a funny night. Now, keep in mind, it's winter, and if you know me in winter, I'm the same every fucking winter. I don't like going out. I don't like being around people I don't know too much. I don't like being bothered. I'm like a trigger. I'm a hairpin trigger. I'm telling you. I just don't like being bothered, which means I generally don't like being around people too much. I wasn't drinking or anything last night, so I'm just sitting there in the corner waiting for Andre to want to go home, but I convinced him to go home. So last night, me and Andre met up, and I'm on my PS4. I just bought a webcam for my PS4. I'm happy with my PlayStation. That's what I want to do. But all he wants to do is hang out with girls and meet girls, see girls. Like that's how he was when he was at my place, right? So we basically meet up here. One girl comes and another girl comes, a rich ass girl comes, and we start hanging out, whatever. There's four of us, so we're like, all right, let's go out, right? So he decides to go to this bar that we go to a lot. But before we go, I told him, I'm like, look, we keep going to the same place. It's not a good idea. Plus, these girls, or this girl who knows this girl very well, is going to be there. So, why would you want to go? He's like, it's all right. I want to go meet some girls. I need to be around girls. He wanted to go see more girls, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we go to the place. Sure enough, as soon as we walk in, the girls are there. As soon as we walk in. So as soon as I saw them, the first thing I said to myself is, Andre is not going to be himself tonight. He thinks he doesn't care, but he does. He thinks he doesn't care. And what's funny is, after everything happened, I checked my phone the next morning because I didn't look at the messages or some shit. He was texting me like, oh my God, she's here on the dance floor. You see what I'm talking about? But anyway, we go hang out, whatever. We sit at the table, we order some Kalyan, whatever. Long story short, he basically didn't really do his thing too much. And plus, there were a lot of guys that night too. I will give him that. It was the only night I remember being in there when there was more guys than girls. That was strange. I didn't like that shit. I was like, it's time to go home. There's more guys than girls in here. I'm fucking out of here. This is the first time I saw that. Because in Russia, there's a lot of girls, but this is the first time there were more guys than girls. That shit felt icky and just nasty. You know what I mean? I'll tell you why I hated it so much, right? So, during this whole thing, as we were there, I always sit with my back towards the wall with a view of everything. So I'm like in the back of the club, bar, whatever, with my back against the wall, and I have a view of everything in front of me. Andre's right next to me, and the girls are sitting in front of me at this. The girls are sitting in front of me. They go back and forth, dancing, whatever. And that was this girl sitting at the bar. She was sitting at the bar, and she was with, I don't know if she was with two guys, but I know these two guys were communicating with her. I don't know if they were together. I don't know if they were hitting on her. I don't know, and I honestly don't give too much of a fuck. The point is they were communicating. Now, as I sat there, because I noticed everything around me. Like, I notice everything around me. I'm always noticing. So, as I'm sitting there, I kind of see in my peripheral vision that she's staring at me. I mean, the most obvious, lustful stare you can imagine. And what's killing me about it is as she's staring at me, being a genius about it, as she's fucking staring at me like that, the two guys next to her are noticing that she's staring at me like that. So immediately, that puts me in an awkward situation. As I'm sitting there ignoring this chick, laid back, sipping on the Red Bull and smoking kalyan, shisha, hookah, whatever you guys call it. And I'm just there chilling, and this girl stares at me. Now, she did this within like the two and a half hours I was there, literally like an hour of the time combined, she was just staring at me. So I tell Andre, I'm like, Andre, do you fucking see this girl fucking staring at me like that? He's like, yeah, dude, I see it. She's just staring. I get it. I guess she likes you, whatever. I'm like, I guess, but that shit's annoying as hell. And it's stupid. And I'll explain to you guys later why it's stupid. So you probably know already. So she keeps doing it. So at one point, one of the guys she was talking to kind of stands like behind her, basically in between the view of like right in between us, like intercepted the view of her to me, like an eclipse, you know, and tried to talk to her more, or whatever. And I was like, all right, whatever, let him do what he does. I sit there. Now there's a point where all of the girls we were with, because as the night went on, we kind of joined forces with the other girls. So it was like me, Andre, and like 7 girls. So they all kind of went to go dance. It was just me and one girl. Oh, yeah, me and one girl. And then her friend, the friend of the girl staring at me, comes back. The staring chick starts talking to the friend, and the friend's like, blah, 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 okay. Then she comes straight to me. Her friend was blonde. Her friend's like, where are you from? And like with the most uninterested voice ever, I just said, New York. And I tried to make it obvious as hell I didn't want to talk to her. And then she said something in Russian, and I was like, I don't understand. And I was trying to look really not interested, which I wasn't. I wasn't interested at all. And then she stepped off. She went back to do what the fuck she was doing with her friend. But the point is, it was stupid what she was doing. She's obviously oblivious to shit in Russia. She doesn't even know how to, you know, I don't like people who don't understand their surroundings. Because you know what's funny? If anything would have happened, like for example, let's say those 2 guys would have been like, oh, you staring at a girl? What are you doing staring at a girl? And shit goes down, whatever, afterwards. If you ask her what happened, she'll say, I don't know. For some reason they got so mad, I don't know. Those are the girls I stay away from because they're fucking stupid. And they have no idea about what's going on around them. I can't stand a girl or a person in general who doesn't know what's going on in their surroundings. I wasn't so much like that in New York, but I'm definitely like that in Russia. And there's some girls who are really good at it. Let me give you an example. One of the girls I ran into there was part of the group. We're seeing each other. And she's a very jealous girl. But what's interesting is the way she behaved herself in this bar/club. And I was extremely impressed. She watched girls come up to me, talk to me, give me their information, all this stuff. She just sat there pretending like she didn't see anything. She didn't try to interfere, nothing like that. And I was curious to know, like, why didn't she try to, you know, do this, do that when it's strong? Well, you know what? There's one main reason she did all that. Because she understands me. And she's smart enough to understand that I'm a free person and I can do what I want and I can have fun. And she's confident. And she was drinking. She didn't approach girls and get the fuck out the way. Nothing stupid, nothing like that, because she knew that would have upset me. Of course she wanted to do that, but she didn't because she's actually smart. She actually thought about, okay, I know I want a cock block, but then again, should I do that? And she gained a lot of my respect last night from what she did. A lot of my respect for just sitting there and just watching. Because the thing is, I didn't approach these fucking girls. I don't approach people. Like, one of the girls we were hanging out with, this really pretty girl, I call Cleopatra. She's so gorgeous. And she's mad cool. She's kind of like a guy. I think she might be bisexual or something. But anyway, and she just happened to want to bring over her lesbian friend last night. Yeah. But she's cool anyway. You can see her on my Instagram. What was I saying? Totally forgot where I was. Okay, I remember now. She motherfucking asked me, she said to me and Andre, she goes, well, you know, I expected you guys to be out there talking to girls, getting girls. That's what I thought you did every night, Phil. At least Phil, especially. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, I don't. You know, and it got me a little upset because I'm like, I don't know what fucking stereotypes you guys have of me in Russia. And if I did approach girls and stuff and try to get girls, I wouldn't give a shit. But it's not true. And she was there and she watched. I didn't approach shit. Any girl I spoke to that night that I didn't know approached me. I didn't approach shit. Those 2 girls and the second girl who approached us and sat with us for a minute, she looked good and she had a nice ass. And the dude she was with was mad tight. So to be smart about it, I kind of had, I used Andre. I was like, Andre, take a number. You know, because it won't look so, people won't be so mad if Andre's getting a number. But if I'm getting a number, dudes are going to look mad. You can learn a lot from me in Russia. If you're black and you want to come to Russia, you can learn a lot from me. Like, I'm like, Andre, get a number. Get an Instagram. Get everything. And so he got it, and then I started talking to her from it. You know what I mean? Like, we chat on Instagram, whatever. But she was really good looking. But I think she didn't do anything stupid. You know, she didn't disrespect those guys because, you know, she wasn't dating those guys or anything. She wasn't just staring at me, making any awkward moments. Not. She just got up, excused herself, and came to me and started talking to me, and she was being nice. And she was also talking to Andre. She didn't make it extremely obvious that, oh yeah, I want this guy, this guy. She didn't make it extremely obvious. She was talking to me, she was talking to Andre, she was talking to the other girl we were with. She just blended in with the group. That's what she did. Now, if the girl who was staring at me like a genius was smart at all, when I had space at the table, she should have came and spoke with everybody. She should have came and spoke with everybody. That's what you do. If you're a Russian girl and you see a guy who's a foreigner, an obvious foreigner, if you are engaged with any Russian guys at the moment, don't fucking try to air hump this guy or I fuck him when you're with these other guys. You're gonna cause tension between the guys you're with and the foreigner. Whether you know that or not, you need to know now. It's fucking stupid to do that. It's fucking retarded, especially when I wasn't even giving this girl any attention. I saw her when she was first looking at me. I saw her and I wasn't giving her any attention. But now I got these dudes staring at me and shit because of this chick. I mean, I don't really give a fuck if dudes get mad. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. But when I don't want to be bothered, that means I don't want to be bothered. Especially by guys who are mad about a girl. Especially the one night I didn't want to go out at all. Andre did, and he barely spoke to girls because his ex-girl was there and he was feeling some type of way. Plus, it was mostly dudes. It was just not a good night for me to be there. I could have had more fun at home playing PlayStation. But I'm happy I met that one girl, and I'm happy I got her info, and I might see her because she looked pretty good. She got a great ass. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was a good night. Just, all I have to say about going out at night in Russia is, like the time I went to Kaliningrad was the most perfect example. I was in Kaliningrad and I noticed Kaliningrad is a little aggressive. It's an aggressive city. Not saying towards the blacks, but it's aggressive, period. Like there's a lot of fights and shit up there. A lot of fights. It's a very aggressive city. And I was there for like 2 weeks partying and shit, whatever. And then some African guys who were friends of my Muslim friend came for like what? I think it was 2 nights. The second night they all got stomped out. All 3 of them got stomped out. And I was like, what happened? First thing he said was, my friend who were friends with them, first thing he said was, well, there was some girl and blah, blah. And I was like, say no more. I know what happened. Either they don't know the game or she doesn't know the game. One of the two. Because I could guess why they got their ass kicked. They were either being aggressive with a girl who were with guys, or they allowed a girl to be aggressive with them who were with guys. That's it, because you got to understand. I understand, like, you shouldn't have to do anything because of someone's ignorance. But everyone has to set the bar in their life what they're willing to deal with, like the amount of ignorance they're willing to deal with. Now, when it comes to me, I deal with ignorance of all sorts that doesn't deal with people touching me. Because then I'm going to want to kill somebody. I don't give a fuck who's listening, government, whatever. I'm going to want to kill somebody. I don't like being bothered or attacked. I don't get down with that. You know, I have a mental problem with those kind of things. That's why I keep to myself. So it's like, you got to understand yourself. So for me, I can deal with people staring at me. So therefore, I can talk to a girl who's just talking to me in a group normally, as long as she's not all over me, making it extremely obvious and being extremely sexual with me, because a lot of guys get too jealous and they want to take it past staring. But when we're just talking, you're part of the group, I'm aware guys are going to stare and wonder, is she just there for the black guy? Maybe she's just there for the black guy. I don't give a fuck. I can deal with that. When there's a girl who's like all up in my face staring at me with her hand on my leg trying to climb on top of me because she's drunk, so it's gonna look like either I'm taking advantage of her, because she's drunk, or it's gonna look like she just wants to use me for dick and she's like disrespecting the guys she was with. If she's with other guys, I'm gonna get away from that chick because she's gonna bring me problems that I do not want at the time. She's gonna bring me problems I do not want at the time, and plus I just don't like that look in the first place. Me all over, allowing some girl who's really drunk to be all over me. You know, I've never liked that. Even in New York, I didn't like that. You know what I mean? So, I really don't know what else to say to you guys. That's really all I have. Me trying to explain things in Russia for people to understand a little bit. But for girls too, man, you just have to make sure the girl you're with understands her surroundings. Because if you go to Russia, if you come to Russia, and you have the right to come to Russia, you get a visa, you can do whatever the hell you want, just obey the law. You know what I mean? So I even had someone in my class yesterday ask me, my speaking club, is it true that you invite black people to Russia? And I was like, well, I don't invite anybody. Because honestly, I wouldn't invite black Americans to Russia because there's no reason to come to Russia. Especially for an American, there's no reason. You know, you're not going to make good money. The quality of life in Russia doesn't compare to the average quality of life in America. What we make over there is like 5 times what they make here. There's really no reason to come here unless you're a dancer, basketball player, or English teacher. Other than that, there's no reason. But I do make videos for people who want to come on their own, and I tell them the do's and don'ts. That's what I do. But I'm not like, hey, black people come to Russia. Hell fucking no. But if you want, I'm the guy to talk to, and there's some other guys out there too. So that's how that goes. So if you're dating a girl, and most likely you're her first black guy, and you say something like, so you think you'll be comfortable when we're out in public? If she says something to the point of, why? What's different? It's the same thing. No one cares, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't know shit. She doesn't know shit. Don't listen to her. Follow your guts with that. Don't listen to her. She doesn't know shit. But if she says something like, well, you know, people are going to stare. People might make comments, but you know, I don't care, whatever. We can go to this place. I know it's a nice place. That's a girl you need to fuck with. That's the girl you need to fuck with. The girl who understands things. The girl who's just oblivious and thinks we're all holding hands. Don't take her too seriously. You know what I mean? And that's basically it, guys. I'm out. Let me know what you think. Later, ñacos.